and cue the network video.
Secrets, if you really look at yourself, you would be speechless. What happened to being doctors and teachers? What happened to being your brother's keeper? Nowadays, kids more worried about.
Okay, folks. 13 here, and we're about to mod Don't Starve Together. Comment, like, subscribe, participate. Always remember to share. Do the important stuff to keep this show going and this channel growing. And enjoy. Okay, sorry for the abrupt volume change there, folks. I usually do that a little smoother. It's weird having this view. Here we go. Okay, I still don't feel like that's fit to screen very well. There we go. Weird. Okay. If it wants to be a douchebag. Let's open up Cheech 3. This is as far as we've gotten. And we'll see what we got. What do we got for Cheech 3? Cherry Pie borrowed my drawing tablet, and now the cord is somehow slightly wrong. I don't know how that's possible, but it is. She recorded it and stuff. Okay, so let's get a look. Oh, we discovered this awesome trick with control where we can do that. Now let's do comparatively. We have our Beenie back front as if he was shocked and you could see inside of his head. Smoke came out a lot better than I thought it would. Big fan of that. Well, anyway, so this also looks like the back of his hair, I bet. If I turn Cheech off for a minute. Ooh, whoa. Is that the third layer? Okay. So we never got that far. I remember now, there was kind of a I had to go real quick thing that happened. So let's go ahead and merge that down until we get Cheech able to be turned off properly. And we'll go ahead and remake the layers that we just took out. So we have the layers we usually work with. I like to have 5. And I like to work with the middle one. That way, if I have to add layers later, I can. But, you know, whatever. I'm a big fan of adding layers and then taking them apart. So I'm seeing evidence that makes me think that, yes, we for some reason have a small piece of the back of the head, and that is definitely the back of the head. And then we have a small piece of the bones. This does not break my heart. That means that we almost have this row taken care of by 2 more pieces just by making copies of stuff we already got. I can handle that. I can hang. So let's go to the Cheech level and let's get one of the 2 things that we need, which is this one right here. We will select everything. Now remember, our magic selection tool is over here, able to select transparent. So we just got the transparent. We're not feathering edges or anything. Now we'll take our selection. I should know the fast way to do this. How do you do this? Control I. Let's test it out. So now we go, oh, that control. We go Control I. And I think we're selected now. And we grab this box. And we only want this one. So we're going to grab the rest of these and holding Control down, which is a negativizer. We get rid of those. Let's copy that. Let's go to the 3rd layer and paste it. And then we'll move it. Now I'm going to want to get closer here. Okay, I need to be as close as possible, but far out enough to see far out, man. I gotta be far out enough to see my placement of things and to be happy with what's going on. Because I don't know when this back of the head comes into play, but I bet you when it does come into play, if things aren't in the right spot, I'll be like, oh no, things are not in the right spot. I also don't know if we got the little hairs. I guess we did. Okay, good. Now let's go up with this. Now first the bottom. It's a little bit lower than that, right? Left and right, we'll just have to, God, really hope on. Really concerned about left and right. Okay. I want to think it's a smidge off, but it's for height, but I don't know if it's up or down, and we have to have left or right too to know. I don't think it's down. I don't think it's up. I don't think it's down. I think it may have been right. Okay, let me anchor it and see what it looks like. I may unanchor it. I think it's close enough that if it's off, whatever it's supposed to do, it'll like just shutter off maybe 1 pixel and you won't notice. It looks really similar. If anybody in the live audience feels like that's off, let me know and I'll fix it right now. But if no one in the live audience speaks up, I'm gonna decide that that's good and I'm gonna go ahead and move on. It looks fairly good. It's also true that the two images, their images, are slightly different. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for right now, but I'm just going to work with layer 2 next when I do this next selection. So I'm going to go back to the Cheech level, and I'm going to select everything again, and then I'm going to Control-I to invert that selection. And then I'm going to use the box and Control to only get what I want, and what I want is the inside of the head. So we'll just do this, and now we have just the inside of that. We'll we'll copy that, and now we'll paste it on layer 2. Go to the mover, and now we have an image of that pulled loose that we can move. And this one I think is going to be a little easier to line up because it pretty much just lines up with the bottom of the screen for height. And that, my friend, is going to be a good thing. Let's jump one in. There we go. Okay. Now let's keep pulling this over. Let's see. Right there. Oh, it doesn't fit. Imagine that. So this will line it up in relation to the bones then. Because I don't know what they're using this for. What a bastard. And it's so hard to line up because it's black against black. But if I put it up where it should line up like that, it's way too high. Maybe not, actually. Looking at where certain things are lining up here. Namely the white. See the right here, if you can see my cursor, the white in the joint and the white in the joint is what I want to be lining up. I'm going to say that the edge of the smoke comes slightly under the foot. I'm going to say that's good. I am. Now left and right might be somewhat under contention. I don't think that's bad either, actually. Now that I see where it lines up on the certain bones that it lines up on, I think we're pretty good. I think if anything it might come over like that, just a tad. But I feel like we're gonna... No, that's perfect. I think that's perfect. I think that's what we're gonna go with. Yeah, I hope that doesn't go jutting off to the side or something. Damn. So that was cool. We were able to copy and paste our way through that much more of it. Now I kind of want to finish off the hair stuff while we're doing hair stuff. I think that we can merge all those down. I don't see anybody that's in live chat going, no, don't do it. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's merge this down to Cheech. And if I merge them down from here, then as I merge 3 down, I only have to go 1 down to merge it down. So let's merge that down. Alright, now let's build our layers back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and take out the one just called layer. Okay. Cool. I think we're gonna throw another save down and call that save 4. Not so much that we did a ton of work. We did do subjective work, and it's not largely it's stuff that we can just move around on the sheet, so I'm not overly concerned about that, but I feel like we got a little milestone there. Now oh, we want to finish the hair. Oh yeah, that's just a bunch more grabbing and moving cheat parts around. I'm just going to save over this save once I get done doing this. So that's the front part of the hair right there. So at the Cheech level, we'll grab again everything. We'll invert that selection. It just means that first we selected the outside, then we reselected the inside. I'm gonna get rid of that, and I'm gonna get rid of that in regards to what is in our selection. I'm gonna copy that, and then on the third layer, actually I know I'm just gonna move these straight down. So on the second layer, I'm gonna paste it, and that gives us kind of a copy over the original. Really? Okay. Don't know what its problem is. Okay, I selected this, please. I'm not sure what its problem is. Now, will you work? Nope, of course you won't. Am I gonna have to Okay, fine. Let's delete that floating layer. Go to layer 2. Paste. Why can't I move you? Some kind of weird focus thing that the keyboard is doing. Okay, I'll just move it over there like that. I'll brood it around if it's gonna make me. Okay, let's... This one we can get quite a zoom on. I can make sure that this one is really close to the location of the other one. Okay, that's matched up with the bottom. Okay. I want another marker to mark against, let's see, on that side. Oh yeah, it was way too far over. Crazy. Okay, well... let's see, so that goes 1, 2, 3, 4 steps up, and then it's long. Here, let me use the mouse pointer so we can stay on the same page. 1, 2, 3, 4 pixels up, and there's a flat plane. 1, 2, 3, 4 pixels up, there's a flat plane. So bring that down 1 and over 1. Yep. Yep. That is within a pixel of being the right location. 1, 2 in a plane. 1, 2 in a plane. I think that is it, actually. Yep. Okay. Good enough. And then back on the Cheech level, and we'll zoom out. And we'll grab... Come on. Back out. Oh, back out. There we go. There we go. Okay, we'll grab everything again. On the Cheech level, grab everything. Invert that selection again, so we're actually selecting the inside, not the outside of what we just selected. Next, we want one that looks like this. That's this one. Okay, so holding control down, we select all of these, which actually unselects them. And we're going to do that again over here. Up. Unselect. Nope, nope, no, no. No! Yes, okay. Now, we're going to copy that. And on, was it layer 2 that we, yeah, on layer 1, we will paste kiss that, and we'll select this tool, and then we'll move it roughly to where we want it. We'll zoom in. That's the middle mouse button or the scroll wheel. You push it down to move the whole image, and then zooming is done by holding control down and scrolling the scroll wheel. At least in this application, which is GIMP. This is a little app called GIMP that we use for artistic adventures. Wow, this is going to be the hardest of all to figure out where this goes. Okay. Goes back from there. We're definitely not going to have the whole hat in the image. Wow, this one's stupidly tough. I found a marker point, though, that's actually making it a lot easier, and I'll share that with you in just a second here. Okay, so if you look right here, there's this crack, or this seam in the hat that has kind of a branch, and then there's a little green right here. I'm just marking those 2 points up, so matching those 2 points up. So I'm trying to get, it's got a bit of green there, right? Got a bit of green there. It's one step back from the lightest point of that. That's within a pixel of where it needs to be. I don't want to infringe on the green behind it. We may end up having to take out some of this that's overhanging. We'll do that in our last version. What we'll do is we'll have one version that we don't clip out, and another one we'll clip all that stuff out. And we'll use the one that we clip the stuff out of actually in the game. In the mod, the finished mod. We're going to call that good. Screw it. I can move it later if I need to. It doesn't directly infringe on any other Cheech object in a way that would keep me from being able to separate things. Okay, so we'll anchor that, and then we'll take this layer and merge it down, and then we'll take this one and merge it down. And that should have created a situation working on some work for school there, Red?
Yep.
This will allow us to create a situation where we can turn the Cheech channel off, and we have all of those. And we've actually made some progress. I know it feels like it takes forever. If it doesn't feel like that for you guys, it feels like that for me. If it doesn't feel like that for you guys, then let me know in the comments, because that would make me feel awesome. It would mean that I'm entertaining enough that doing this what can be relatively dry work as entertaining, then that would be awesome. Awesome. I'm going to throw an episode name on this real quick. I forgot what mod number this is. I'm going to check that also real quick. So listen to the music, groove for a minute. Okay, number 5 was hotboxing Cheech's head. I think that was the last one. So this is number 6. We're going to call this Finished the Beenie. Because that's it. We're all done. We're all done with the Beenie. Ask mods, don't starve together. 6. Finished the Beenie. Alright, and that's, yeah, just another little... We do it live. We try to give the little glimpses. We try to include you guys on the stuffs. This is our show. We just do all the work, right? You do your part, you watch it. I guess that could be work sometimes. But, we like to think it's not. Okay, now we got decisions to make. Now, for the first time in a while, I need a little bit of reference. Let's get a little bit of reference up here. Up in this. Up in this. Up in this. Okay. I'm getting an idea of how this is going to come together, though. So that's good. That's a positive. But I need that reference pick. So I'm going to look up Cheech and Up in Smoke. And then we're going to just do an image search. You can do that on Bing or Google. Either one is going to get you enough images of Cheech back in the that particular show to get a good, you know, Cheech on. And I just want to make some decisions about what how Cheech's head is going to match up with his beanie. Along the top of the head and stuff. And we may have to do some real adjusting when it comes to this particular part. But okay, so let's get our layers back in. I've got a general idea of what we need to do. A little terrified by this part. Like I said, this is one of those where we're just going to have to kind of put things together. I also need another picture for reference, and that is Wilson from Don't Starve, so I can get an idea of how these layers are going to be matching up with each other. And there's a great image somewhere here. I had a couple of shows ago. There's a lot of interesting Wilsons where people have like drawn Wilson. But there was one good one that showed him from like the front and back and left and right. There's one that will work along those lines. So it looks like, yes, his face is a mask that goes over his hairline. And I'm guessing by where the way the image looks that it's going to go over our beanie at about the ear line. I think we're going to have to make some decisions. Using 3 images I'm looking at, I think we can make a decision about where the beanie needs to go. And that's going to decide where we cut the model, or sorry, the back image. Oh my, this is going to not be so terrible, but kind of terrible. Yeah, we're going to have to work with these. Once we know the line of the beanie, then we're going to work with some other stuff. So first, yeah, there's going to be some technical stuff to be appreciated here, I hope. What's really going to matter is when we're all done and we run it, just how close we get things matched up is what's going to define whether or not we're cool. But I'm hoping that our coolness factor will be enough to be appreciated. But there's definitely some fine adjustment that'll have to happen with Cheech here. So, let's go ahead and make these layers. And I'm just clicking and then hitting the enter button, enter key. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Wilson layer this time. We're going to use our same trick to grab a bunch of stuff and then get only what we want. But we're going to, this time, yeah, we'll just use this. Okay, so we're going to come in to the same height of things. We'll do the Control I to invert. We'll hold Control down so we can, you know, not get any of that. We'll hold Control down so we can not get any of this. We'll hold Control down so we can not get any of this. And, let's get this. And then we'll grab all of this and get rid of it. Actually, Control Z. Control Z. I messed up. That's the first one we want. It is. So, what we want to do is we want to grab all of this and get rid of it. And then we want to grab all of this and get rid of it. And then we want to grab all of this and get rid of it. And stuff is gotten rid of. Now we'll copy that on the third layer. We will paste it. Let me turn Wilson off for a second. Yep, that's where we want it. And we'll paste that on the third layer. On the fourth layer, okay, first let's grab this. That's the Cheech layer. On the Wilson layer, we'll grab everything. And then we'll invert. And this time I want the skull. So from down here, we'll grab all of this. And from right here, nope. Control Z. From right here, we want all of that gone. We want this gone. And we want this gone. And that skull that we're left with, we'll put that on layer 4 and drop it down. Drop it like it's hot. We'll grab the position tool and we'll bring it over here. And then, with the help of Control and Scroll Wheel, we'll come in here and we'll match it up just bueno. Let's see, I feel like the chin is shaped like that. And we'll match up with the chin. Alright, so we got that now cemented on the layer right above. And then we want to go to the Cheech layer, because we need the front beanie. So we'll go to the Cheech layer. Once again, magic wand on everything. We'll invert that selection. Let's get rid of everything but the front beanie. slowly my skills are awakening. I mentioned that we're going to be doing some projects to kind of help me awaken some skills that I've felt fallen a little dormant. And this is one of those skills, this kind of making game graphics. And it's cool to feel it starting to live again. So let's copy this. What's up, Red?
You know what that is that you put the beanie on where it's like red and stuff?
The what?
You know, there, and there.
Uh-huh.
I think those are all beards.
Those are not beards.
Where's the beards then?
I have no idea where the beard is, but the beard is not shaped like any of that. Look at this. Actually, you don't, that's the only side view there is. Look at this one. Let me let me finish what I'm doing instead of kind of poking your nose in there and throwing a wrench into things. Let me finish this motion and then I'll explain to you why you're wrong. Okay, that's gonna go on him and we're not sure where. We still have to figure that out. Oh, Control Z. Okay. I have to get rid of that selection because I have no idea what's going on anymore. Thanks, Red. That was a terrific time to come over here and go, hey, 13, by the way, let me make you lose track of what you're doing. Okay. Get back in here. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. I'll come back for that little speck. This is a terrible way to do this, but I'm just hurrying too much for my own good, really. Okay, let's get rid of that, and then get rid of that. Now, Control Copy, and on this layer, paste. And with this tool, come over to this part and put it right where it should be, which, looking at Cheech in the images, is right about there. Now the left or right we'll figure out in a second. Let me, okay, so that's the best we're gonna get there. Yeah, there we go. Now let me go back to my reference. It's a little higher on his head, actually. Okay, now there were other conditions I could have swore. Is there something about the placement of this? Okay, yeah. Man, this is such a... In the case of this one... No, this is where the beanie's gonna match up on his head. Oh, man. Wilson... You jerk. Let me, Wilson's not a jerk. That's not fair of me to say. I need you for reference for a second, Wilson. So if... Turn this layer off for a second. So if Wilson was wearing this, and it was coming right over his eyes... Right there, it would be right where it is right now. Do I just make it work? Do I just make that line work no matter what I have to do to make it work? Attempt to do that at least. If absolute worst comes to worst, I would have to redraw these pics and I could redraw them in a few different ways, because we have other versions of stuff. Okay, I feel good enough to take the risk. It's still not a risk that feels good, but let's see what we can do. What is that about? Okay. Yeah, that's something we'll have to erase. Actually, this whole layer is gonna go. This is only here to help us provide a cut. So the top of his eyes are level with the top of his ears. Is that accurate with this case? The top of his eyes is level with the top of his ears. Yep. Okay, now let's go back to this layer. Or actually, we're still there. I'm guessing that's about right. I'm guessing that's about right for the distance that I want. It might be a little low on his face, but I really hope it's not. Okay, so after all of that agonizing agonicitude, what we're going to do is we're going to okay, yeah, all the other cuts might be easy. This might be the only big decision that can ruin everything. So we're going to take layer 4, and we're going to delete him when we're done. We're not done yet. I'm not willing to do that yet. Okay. That's our man. That's the one that we're going to be drawing on. Okay. So let's go ahead and anchor the beanie. That's on layer 5. So on layer 5, if we wanted to, we could just get rid of that speck. Now we need a big brush. It's too big, it disappears into the top of the screen. Actually, I can move where the top of the screen is. There we go. So, now, while being on layer 3, oh. Okay, erase. Oh, okay. We want the Wilson layer off. Okay, there we go. That was confusing. Actually, okay, watch this. Grab layer 5. Grab everything, basically. Control, or now we're going to invert that, because we grabbed the outside. Now we're going to invert to get the inside. That is our selection area. Now we're going to go to level 3, and we're just going to erase boldly. And then, if we turn the beanie off, we discover that we erased just the top part of the head. Now we need to do that because it's going to put the face over the beanie. This beanie here that we used to do the cut that I was actually worried about the position for is going to end up going away. Irony of ironies. But we'll do that later. For right now, we'll do that so it goes away. That's our layer 3 now. And that's the shape of the top of our head. That's where we want our face to be. Now, if I turn Wilson on here, we see that we actually have quite a few Wilson faces, and I'm not sure what the variants are between these. They literally look the same to me, and I'm not sure if that's little bits of him rotating his head or something. Got no idea. We're just gonna have to try to figure that one out as we go and get our own face variants right. I think it is just a little bit of like the face moving. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But for right now, we have our initial face shape. At least we know where the top of the brow is in the face. And let's go ahead and select nothing. We're going to be making some alterations to this face to form the face that we're going to use. We may end up using those same ears. We may round them off a little bit. But one thing I know I want to do here is I want to go to pen, set my dynamics to pressure size, turn the brush size all the way down. I want to zoom in a little bit more. Center that and zoom in, and then we'll come in here and whoa, I was depressing the button. We'll come over here and we'll start bordering our face, because that's a very important part of the artistic look of Don't Starve, is the heavy lines that border things. Okay, cool. Well, this was a great episode. We really made some progress. I'm so stoked. Took on a scary bit or two, getting stuff where it is. Let's turn our full, that's our full cheech. And then, actually I guess I don't need that layer anymore. I can safely delete that. I can safely delete that. That layer is my working layer, and I'm going to leave it there because it's not ready to put all the way down to the cheech level. I think I need to actually blacken that up a little more along the ridge line. I'll come back to it, or along the brow line. I'll come back to it and I'll look at it and I'll know for sure what needs to be done there. But that is going to happen in the next episode. Now it's time to crank the music a little bit and say thanks so much for joining us, folks. Comment, like, subscribe, participate. Always remember to share. Do the important stuff to keep this show going and this channel growing. And we'll see you next time. And next time is in about 15 minutes for an episode of Ask Mods Space Engineers. Going to be doing a machinima in that, and there are some custom pieces we need. So first we're going to tackle some of the modeling, and then later we're going to tackle the concept of moving those models into the game and texturing them. But right now I just want to build a couple of things and get my modeling skills back up to par a little bit. Maybe start understanding the Blender interface and stall another day so tomorrow I can do some research. All that being said, folks, we'll catch you next time. Oh boy, I was not talking loud enough. Maybe I was.